Feel Good Talk, where our focus is on mind, body, soul, and business. You are now tuning into Let's Talk About It with your girl Izzy Meditates and your girl Kendra Moore.
Whoop, whoop. What's up? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We're
Happy
sliding right
Thursday.
into Friday. Happy Thursday. We are super excited to have our special guest, Coach Diana Hill. She is a certified life coach. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful tonight, and thank you for having me
Yeah.
tonight. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So we always start off with I like to know how everybody's week's going. I talk to Kendra often. I don't get a chance to talk to you. How's your week going?
Oh, my week is going wonderful. I
Nice.
got a lot of stuff lined up. I just submitted an article early this week for this magazine that I'm a contributor author in.
Nice.
Nice.
Really nice.
Yes, so I
That's
have I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of positive stuff going on with me, and it seemed like everything is coming in like a flood for me. So I'm not used to this, but God is preparing me. So
Yes, get
I'm getting
ready.
used to it. I'm getting ready. Well, I'm already ready.
Yeah.
Like I answered this call real quick. So yes, you have to
Yes,
be
you did.
ready before you ready.
Yes, I love it. We are so honored to have you on. And Kendra, how's your week going, Miss Lady?
It's going pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think if anything. Yeah, it's a normal week. I don't have
Yeah.
any crazy moving stuff happening. I'm just,
Good.
95% there.
Yeah.
Started working out again, so I'm happy about that. So
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
good.
I
Yeah, I'm
love
good
when it
this week.
all just falls into place.
Ah,
So
Cal, it doesn't fall. You work it into place. I wish it would fall into place, but you gotta work it. That's WERK.
I
Okay,
know,
work
right?
it.
I
How
know.
about you?
Yeah. This week was pretty good. I've been pretty busy. Teaching meditation. My book comes out on 2/22/22.
Oh, woo
Your
woo!
Yeah.
second book. Get it right.
Yes, my second book. I'm so excited about that.
I
It is a
have to get
journal.
it. You gotta send me the link so I can purchase it. Send me the
Oh,
link in
sure.
my page so
Yeah.
I can purchase it. I do
Oh,
support fellow authors.
thank you. Thank you so much. I'll definitely do that. I'll probably do like a announcement on that day or probably the day before. So I've been trying to kind of work on that. And like you said, things are coming in and I'm just like, okay, don't be shy. Just go ahead and accept that. It came to you for a reason. So that's what we've been working on. But I'm excited to have you today and we want to highlight
Yeah.
you. I want to know more about you. Can you tell our audience what you do?
Okay, first of all, I am an author. My second book was just released on January 17th. So I'm excited about that. It's in e-form and then I it's in you can find it on my page.
Nice.
Um and you can pay it off a PayHip and then it's on Amazon and then I
Very
had books
nice.
shipping out to me.
Nice.
So I'm very excited about that. I just became a certified life coach
Nice.
a little while ago. I'm in the process of putting my program together.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I was doing some of that today and was printing out some forms and all that. So that should be done before the first quarter of the year is out. Don't know when, but
Yeah.
I'm putting that together. My targeted audience is women that have esteem issues.
Good. Oh, nice. Very nice. That was going to be like my next question. Very nice.
What's
And
the
so,
name of your book? I'm sorry, Izzy.
oh
What's
no,
the
go
name
ahead.
of your new book? And then
Oh,
I'll be
the
like,
name of my book is the 30-day women's devotional.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like that.
And
nice.
the 30-day woman's devotional, the everyday woman.
Very nice. I like that. And so, how did you come up with the book? 30 days. Is it
Um,
ongoing or just one?
the
Like a
book is actually was done because God's I'm blessed to be alive because I had a bad case of COVID early this year.
Oh wow.
Mm.
And as I yes,
Yeah.
to God be the glory that I am still here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as I was convalescing, I had to have that particular day,
Mhm.
I had to have physical therapy.
Oh
So
wow.
I was so tired from physical therapy and I was in my chair
Yeah.
trying to recuperate. And the spirit came to me and said that I must write a devotional
Hmm.
for women. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I figured it out because I have like 6 anthologies that I've been involved in,
Wow.
including my own book. So I'm still like, okay, I've been in anthologies, but I never wrote my own book
Yeah.
on daily devotionals. So everything that I wrote about in my book was inspired from the Lord.
Nice. Very
Mm.
nice. Very nice. And 30 days. And it's all women's book. Is that correct?
It's a
Yeah.
women's devotional, and they have
Right.
other prayers in it as well, bonus
Yeah.
prayers.
Very
Yeah,
nice. Very nice. That's very exciting.
that was through blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
And also, I wrote the book with like 75% of my functioning of my hands because COVID affected my nervous system,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
I
wow.
still don't have 100% in my hand. But with God's healing power, one day it's going to come back.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely for
Yes. Yes.
sure. Yeah, when you get those messages, you either run, hide, or you
Right.
go. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And that's how my coaching came about in the
Nice.
process of me writing my book. When I have learned from marketing and my mentors, when you have a product, you have to have a service as well.
Yeah.
And I've always been a mentor to a lot of women and a lot of wives
Yeah.
down through the years. So it
Mm.
was only right when I found my purpose. I just found my purpose in life earlier this year as I
Yeah.
was writing my book.
Yeah. I
Wow.
love that. And when you come out with a book that's helping women to prepare and to go through life and to be inspired, it's like you said, naturally coaching comes along with it because you can have your book and say, hey, you know what? Let's all get together, have a group talk about the book, study each day together so we have an understanding. Let's vibe with each other, talk about the things that we're going through. So that's excellent. That's an excellent choice.
And I
Yeah,
also have a Facebook group called the Everyday Woman's Transformational Group.
very nice.
Oh, nice.
We'll be sure to post that as well so that people can follow you. I was going to ask you about that. The pod, is it a group or do you have a podcast as well?
It's a group. I
Uh-huh.
have a podcast,
Uh-huh.
but I have two podcasts actually.
Hmm.
One is about the group, and then I have a podcast that is about marriage. I
Oh,
didn't
nice.
start them yet, but it's set up, and I guess never did this before, but this is the season that you must branch out and not be scared and just move forward. So
Right.
Yeah.
I
I'm going
agree.
to launch it. It's going to be on Spreaker.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like if
Wow.
sometimes we miss our opportunities not stepping out in faith and doing it. I mean, because 30
Mhm.
days, I'm thinking a 30-day devotional is hard. Especially, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, you're just getting over COVID and you're like, okay, is this what you really want me to do? Like right now? In this moment?
Yes, when I tell you that it was some days because I was literally healing and
Wow.
in a lot of pain. So like a couple of my devotionals is about believing in the Lord,
Right.
trusting in the Lord when you're going through it, A lot of that stuff, having hope for tomorrow when I still don't know, when I'm in a lot of pain, but God told me to write this and I'm writing it anyway.
Right.
So, people only see the outcome. They don't see the beginning and the middle
Right.
part.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you sitting up there writing in tears.
Right.
Right.
Right. But they can feel it through your words. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about you. What kind of led you to like mentoring? So you were talking earlier, like you started off mentoring. What is it about your
So
own
in
personal
actuality, in
experience?
I'm a married woman going on 16 years next month, March the 4th. And I wrote my first book, Married to Life's Journey, and it was published in 2018. So during that time, in 2018, I didn't have the means and the resources that I have today because none of this was out back in 2018.
Right.
Now, face forward, I have so much and so much help to help me marketing my book and me putting myself out there. I didn't have all that in 2018. So
Right.
this is a whole total different experience. I have a few great business coaches and they are awesome.
That
Yeah.
So
is
I
nice.
follow their lead. Everything that they tell me to do, I follow their lead.
Nice.
Very nice.
What do you think? So, thinking about like you mentoring women and writing this devotional, and then writing your other book, what is it do you see that women struggle with the most?
Women really, we all struggle with some kind of self-esteem
Oh,
issue.
yes.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to come up with something because I am the everyday woman. I am an everyday woman that go through struggles just like everybody else do.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with the title of my book, The
Right.
Everyday Woman. So what we all go through is some kind of esteem issue because when I battled COVID, I had a sickly episode in 2020. I had food poisoning and I lost a little bit of weight. And then when I had COVID, I lost almost 20 pounds. So
Oh,
Wow.
I had to see myself in the mirror every single day, going down, 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 down,
wow.
Yeah.
down, down, down in the mirror. That was an esteem issue that I had to go through.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm dealing with that. And then that made me really realize that we all suffer from some kind of issue, whether it's
Right.
body image. For me, people had body image from gaining weight. I had body image from losing all that weight
Mhm.
Right.
and not knowing if it's ever going to go back. And I'm a diabetic, so I went through a lot.
Yeah.
It's coming back now, and I'm being transparent because even as a coach, you have to be transparent with your clients. You
Right.
have to tell a story, and you have to be
Right.
authentic because they could tell fake and phony.
Yeah.
So
I
I
know that.
have I have a story to tell.
Yes. Yes. I love that. And like you said, everybody deals with some type of self esteem. I've seen people who are absolutely, in my eyes, drop dead gorgeous
Yeah.
and, come up and they're like, oh, well, my nose is crooked. I'm like, your nose is perfect. Like, it's
Uh-huh.
perfect. So we all, and it's like, if you have short hair, then you want long hair. And then if
Yes.
you have long hair, you want short
Yep.
hair. So there's never,
If you have straight hair, you want curly hair. If you have a
right.
big this, you want a big that.
Yeah, I'm like looking at the women like, oh my gosh, you're absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But in that sense of meeting them and understanding, they will find something that they don't like that
Yeah.
is, that you pick apart. And so self-esteem is everything. And when you have good self-esteem, you can mirror that to your children, to your friends. So that's
Yeah.
definitely a must,
Yeah.
a
And
must have. Yeah.
why do you think so? Why do you think women have such self-esteem issues?
Yeah.
Social media,
Yes.
society.
Right.
And with social media, with all these women that's in all these reality TVs that's getting their butts and their breasts redone and going to Dr. Miami, and then they
Right.
coming back and then they looking at themselves like, oh, I need a butt lift.
Right.
I can get
Right.
a tummy tuck, or I can get some boobs, and
Yeah.
then just not accepting their body for
Yeah.
what they are, how they are.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to love yourself on the inside and out.
Yeah, it
Right.
always feels like it's like somewhat of a competition. I remember a guy saying to me once, like, women really get dressed for other women. They don't get dressed for men. Because he was
And
like,
I
we
believe that
don't look
that is
like
so
look at or need
true.
all of that. I was like, ah,
It's
that's
true.
insightful.
It's so true because even I know what Kendra's gonna wear. I'm like, all right, cool. I can vibe with Kendra. Now, if somebody else came on with something different, I'm like, I gotta push up. I gotta push the standards up or something. I can't come on like,
Yes,
you know what I
like,
mean?
and it's
Yeah,
only women that do that to other women that
Right.
yes,
will look up a woman up and down and like, oh, I could have wore that better than, like,
yeah,
whoa, like, so it's like you had to have the longer hair than the next woman. You
right.
had
Yeah.
to have the longest lashes. Oh my goodness. But
Don't get me on
it's
the lashes.
real. This is real. This is how women is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
especially with the social media, like you said. Like I know a lot of social media influencers that do not open their comment sections for a reason. They will post, but they don't allow you to give any
yeah,
negativity to them. And just like the young lady that just passed, and I do apologize, I don't know her name. I had read an article and it said that she would be upset sometimes because, and she was gorgeous, beautiful body and
yeah,
everything.
he
Someone had said they
was.
yeah,
said to her that she was built like a man. And she took that
yeah,
personally. I mean, I mean, if somebody said that to me, I would probably push it off. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, it'll come up some other point.
Society is
Right.
so mean. Like,
Yes. Even to kids, even to our young
oh my
adults.
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to be careful. We have 15 comments. Let's see what's going on out in our in feel good talk land.
Ah, I like that. We should have
There
a
we
backdrop.
go. Charles Brakely says, "Good evening, ladies. Hello,
Good
Charles.
evening,
How are you?"
Charles.
He says, "Congratulations on all of your accomplishments. Yes,
Yeah, that is huge.
just moving forward through just the pain and suffering."
Yes.
Tyrone Ricks is in the house. Tyrone is in New York. I think he's still in New York.
Yeah.
Hello,
How's
how
New York
are you?
today?
Woo!
Thank you,
Good to see
Tyrone.
you. Tyrone Ricks says, "Good evening, Kendra Moore, Izzy Meditates, and special guest Diana." He
Knowing
is
Tyrone,
awesome. He
he's probably
always says
on
it.
in like Times
Hello,
Square.
how
I
are
know.
you?
I
Tuning
know. I
in
was
and
following him.
typing.
Yesterday I was watching where he was going. Shayna
Yeah, me
Gordy's in
too.
the house. Hello, Feel
Hi,
Good Talk
Shayna,
family.
how
Hi,
are
Shayna.
you?
She says, "Good
What's up,
evening,
sis?
family." Charles Brakely says, "Yes, the only see the results and not the work." I know. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Shayna Gordine says, "Hello,
Hi,
Diane."
Shayna, how
Diana.
are you?
Charles Brakely says, "Yes, self-esteem is definitely a major problem.
Yeah.
You just can't escape it. At some point in your life, I think you'll have to address it." Charles Brakely also says, "What is one of the most challenging parts of being a life coach?"
Actually, I didn't even get my first client yet.
Yeah.
I just became certified a little while ago. I'm in the process of putting my program together.
Hmm.
So it will be up and running before the first quarter is out. So
Nice.
Nice.
I'm in the process of putting it together,
Yeah.
and I'm having fun with putting it together.
Yeah.
Me and my publisher, she's going to help me put it together.
Yeah.
So
Did
that
you
That's
will
hear that?
be
awesome. That's
She says
exciting.
she's having fun putting it
Yeah,
together.
I caught that too. Yeah,
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 when you have fun doing what you do, you just do it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it
yeah,
because
doesn't
it
even
comes naturally.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I
And
can't
people
wait
feel it.
until I get my first client.
Yeah. Well, you
Nice.
know what? We'll check in again with you a little bit later and have you on and we can talk. We can talk about that. Melody Bazemore is in the house. She says, so true from retired hairstylist.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the competition and all that.
Charles Brakely says, yes, social media is definitely a major problem when it comes to self esteem. It's
Mhm.
true. Even I battle with it. Sometimes I see things and I'm like, wait a minute, calm
Oh
yourself
gosh,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. Charles Brakely says, you will find the most beautiful people have the lowest self esteem. It is so true.
And it's about self discovery because sometimes we have esteem issues from negativity that family members will tell you, oh, you'll never be this or you
Right.
never be that
Right.
all your life. So if
Right.
you had a situation like that until you find self discovery, that's another issue on self
Yeah.
esteem.
Right.
Well,
When
talk
Right.
to us a
somebody
little
then
bit about
told you what you couldn't do or what you never would be and
right.
make you feel less of,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
that will make you have esteem issues in life
Yeah.
throughout your friendship, throughout your relationships, and throughout
Right.
your raising your children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Tell us a little bit about self-discovery. Like, what does that mean to you? What does that look like? You know.
Self discovery means to me is when you discover your purpose,
Yes.
when
Mm,
you can change your negativity to positivity.
mm,
Right.
And one way you can do that is write what is the positive things in your life
Right. Right.
instead of focusing on the negativity in your life.
Yeah.
right.
You have to rethink yourself. You have to rethink from the inside out. You have to learn yourself inside out. But
Right.
that's only if you want to have it, and it comes from self-awareness
Right.
Mm,
And not comparing yourself to other
and
people.
not comparing
Yeah.
yourself to other people. I
Yeah.
mean, other people can have similarities, but you have to write your own crayon.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
just
think.
I'm like I picked up some weight, maybe about 5, 7 pounds. I'm like, I'm okay with my COVID curves now. You just gotta it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Basically, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
So for I like what you said because you're talking about self-discovery, and then you do have to walk that back to self-awareness, right?
Right.
And then that means that you have to. I think the self-awareness part is probably, I'm guessing, the hardest because that means you have to kind of spend time with yourself and
Yeah.
admit to
Absolutely.
yourself
That's what
where you're.
self-awareness.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
And you had to find that self-awareness so you can have better tomorrows.
Right.
right, yeah,
Right. Because a lot of time we lie to ourselves about certain things. You know what I mean? Or we kind of like push it off.
You
But
had to be totally transformed in your mind
right.
that you can do this. Stop saying what you can't do and say what you can do.
Right. Right. And
hmm
worrying about what people are
And
thinking
stop
of you.
worrying about what other people think of you. That's the hardest.
Yes.
And stop being so hard on yourself. Forgive yourself for even getting that way. That's the first step that you have to do. And
Yeah.
yeah,
that's the hardest. You can forgive others, but you must forgive yourself even when you're in that downfall spiral
yeah,
Yeah.
to
mhm.
pick
Yeah.
yourself back up.
Yeah. I agree because I really feel like people try their best. You know, no one's
Right.
perfect. And when you're talking about forgiving yourself, I think a lot of times people do what you think is the best thing to do in that moment. And then
Right.
later on, when you find out more information, then you're like, oh man, why did I do this? And then you start beating yourself up. But it's like a lot of times you didn't have that information then.
Yeah.
So if you did, you might have made a, but then at the same time, I think we do have to hold ourselves accountable when we do stuff that we know, like,
Is
okay, I
right.
know I could have done better. You know what I mean?
That's the
So,
first step is self accountability. When
yes.
you find that self accountability, then everything else like sort of kind of fall into place. But
Hmm.
you
Right.
had to have that self accountability. And if you notice, everything I talked about,
Yeah.
first word was self.
Right.
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 That's
Right.
right. That's right. I was
Mhm.
gonna say there was a quote that we say, um, and it slipped off the top of my head. But definitely start with self. Start with home, and then you can go out. And that's what you
Yeah.
did. You started with yourself. You were
Yeah.
healing yourself, and then you projected that healing outwards in your
Yeah.
book in the 30-day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I can't think of that quote. It was like at the top of my head. Oh, I know what it is. I always say to myself, I did the best with what I had. You know what I mean? Like whatever I was
Mhm.
going through, I did the best with what I was given. And
Yeah.
so therefore I cannot shame myself for that. If
Right.
it was a certain, something I had to train and, everything was going on, the kids were busy, this and that and the other, I got a B on the paper instead of A. I did the best I could with what I
Yep.
had. You know what
Yep.
I mean? And
Yep.
that helps me out like right there, 5 seconds. As soon as the thought goes through my head,
Yep.
it's better to say that than to shame myself because shaming leads to low self-esteem. Low
Yeah.
self-esteem leads to depression. There's just so much, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That that
Yes.
that leads
Yes.
to.
And we're all growing at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's like we never arrive. And I think now that I'm in my, I was gonna say mid 40s, late 40s.
Early 20s.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, shoot. But now that I'm in my late 40s, I really appreciate the process of discovering new things and
Right.
knowing that I don't know it all and that
Right.
I'm not perfect and that, so it's
Right.
much different now than like, in the 20s. Thank God I wasn't in my 20s with the social media age. I
Yeah,
would
I
Oh
know,
my
right? I
goodness,
would have been
I say
terrible.
that all the time. I
yeah,
thank God in my 20s and 30s and even mid 40s because I'm 51 now.
Yeah.
Social media was not prevalent and it wasn't relevant. All this that they have today, they
yeah,
It's a
didn't
lot.
even have it in 2017 and 2018.
yeah,
Right. It's
yeah,
just it's insane. But I think I got to the point where I don't know. Like you said, like in my 40s, I was just like, this is what it is. I'm
yeah,
okay. I stopped pushing so hard to make everything the way I wanted it to be, and I let things
yes,
flow and let them happen the way they're
yeah,
supposed to be. And when I did that, that allowed me to feel free. Like I feel free. Just let it flow. You know what I mean? It's gonna
yeah,
come to you. If you push too hard, sometimes we push too hard and we get results that we think are for us and they are not for us at all. And then we
yeah.
suffer in that.
Or results we can't keep up with.
Right,
So,
Yeah,
right.
it's like short-term results and then we fall back and then we like beat ourselves up because they're not. And it's kind of like, well, that wasn't in your natural flow. You jumped in somebody
Right.
else's lane, you know?
Right.
and also I'm learning
Hmm.
that you had to stay in your own lane. There
Yes.
is so many people that's doing this. The whole world is saturated with everything. As long as you're original in your own world, and what you
Yeah.
are doing, don't worry about the next person, what the next person is doing, or the
Right.
next person. You have your audience. Don't worry about somebody else's audience
Right.
because it will frustrate you. Don't
Right.
worry about what somebody else book is saying or whatever. Don't worry about that. You will be frustrated trying to do it because I see it every day.
Right.
Mm,
Because if it's
mhm.
your purpose, you're in your purpose. You are working in your purpose. You're a life coach. You know what I mean? If I was a life coach, I'm working in my purpose. We
Yep.
each have different paths. I can't look at you and wish that I had what you had because you are destined to do what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
That's
I try
right.
to, and I always
You
tell
have to
people,
be authentically self to you.
yes,
Yeah.
right. And you
Yeah.
shining a light on somebody else. I've been wanting to say this all day. So excuse me if it's going off.
That's all right.
If you shine, just because you say to someone, you are an awesome coach, you are awesome, this, it's not going to mess up your light. Your light is still going to
Oh,
shine. You know
yes.
what I
That's
mean?
right.
I agree. I was thinking about that when we were talking about competition. Like, yeah,
Yes.
we compete, but it's not like we like compliment someone. Like, it's easy to compliment, to me, it's easy to compliment someone on social media. And
Right.
they make it so easy now because they pre populate the words. So
Right.
all you got to do is like hit the words. But if you're out in the street and you see a sister and she's just like all, decked out. How many of us
I can
okay,
say I actually does that. I
yeah,
would say,
I do
you
that.
know
I do
what?
that too. I'll be like, ooh, sis,
I
I
was
love your
like,
this and that.
this you is working them heels. That
I
dress,
Yes,
you
know.
is working that dress, girl.
yes,
It's
Girl,
true.
you work that dress for me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you.
I do that, and my son's like, "You are so weird. I'm not coming with you anywhere."
I do that too all the time. And it's like, and it's so nice because you can just see in the moment that it's
Right.
I'm sorry,
appreciated.
y'all. I'm
Yeah.
having a personal summer straight about now.
I know.
My
It's
goodness.
you can see their face light up. Like I've
Yes,
commented to someone, and you know that they appreciate it because they go on to tell you more about it, the
right,
item that
right.
they're wearing or the thing. And
Yep,
it's just like I tell people, look, it takes 2 seconds to like a post. Just like the
It
post,
just
support
takes
somebody
two
else. Not
seconds.
even 2 seconds. One little, not even a second.
yep.
Yeah, we have 3 comments. Let's check out our comments. Yeah, it drives me nuts. I'm like, dude, I see people with like the bomb post, and I'm like the only one liking it. I'm like, just like the post, look at it and see.
I know.
Charles Brakely says everyone is unique in their own way.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have to embrace that as women, that we are unique in our own way. Charles Brakely says, yes, have positive affirmation with yourself on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
I can say I have that on a
Hmm.
10 times a day, probably. Social media gives more people a false sense of self. A lot of times they are not living the way that they portray. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Karen.
the highlights.
Yeah, I
Hi,
know, right? Karen
Hi,
Dixon
Karen.
Brown says
How are
hello.
you?
How
Karen.
are you? That is the truth. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all right now. When I take pictures, they are in the moment and they are in that moment, and I have all my face done, my hair is done, so I make sure they're selective. I will not look like I look in the Facebook post when you see me in the market.
Yeah.
That's my disclaimer.
Or if you just pop up at my house, you're
Or
like,
just pop up at my
hi.
house. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, no. You're not going to just see me all dialed up. I don't even wear makeup, but
Right.
a proper red and a little bit of eyeliner and that's
Right.
it.
That's
Right. That's
like,
how
and
we
that
used to
happened to
do.
me this week. It was so funny. I'm on a conference call. No one
Mhm.
ever says, there's like a couple of meetings that I have a month where I know you got to get on camera.
Right.
But otherwise, so if I don't have to get on camera, I'm not like doing my face or,
I know.
whatever. And next
I'm
minute,
not having
I
my
see like
lipstick
this
on every
person pop
single
up,
day.
this person pop up, this person pop up on camera. And I'm like the only one not on camera. So I like run in my room and I'm like, and I'm like, pop it up. I'm like, hey, you guys. I was
I know. I just, but
like,
a part of that is you being just comfortable. After a while, you become comfortable with that. One day you're just like, ah, well, it is
Like
what it is.
sometimes when I'm on a Zoom call, I don't always show my face. You hear
Right,
yeah,
me
my
too.
voice. I don't always, I may be doing something. You hear me and then I pop on for a minute and
Right.
then I pop back off because I'm an everyday woman.
Yeah.
My face not going to be made up.
I know, right?
I'm not, yeah, no.
yeah.
I'm happy that celebrities have decided to show themselves when they're not made up, because at one point you weren't able to see them, you
Yeah,
know?
but is he at the same time? They're going to the spa, they're getting
I
these
know.
facial treatments, they're doing all this and that. So yeah,
Yeah, I've
you
seen them and
know,
I'm just like, I'm glad she's showing herself without her makeup on so people
But
can
you
see.
know what?
it's true.
I
That's
have
true.
a confession.
Mhm.
I've been with my husband for 24 years.
Wow,
Going
awesome.
on 24.
Congratulations.
We've been married 16.
Yeah.
But when I first met my husband, none of this was out. So I'm glad I can honestly say that I met before the makeup craze, the eyelash craze
Oh, yeah.
came out. He met me in urban Philadelphia back in the 90s. None of the lashes was not out.
Yeah.
Only a lipstick wasn't even out. We wasn't wearing no red lipstick back then, just lip gloss.
I know.
And
Yes,
then
yes, right, right. That's right. And we were getting our, like, my eyebrows have arched. They're
It
arched
was
so
just
much
the
that they're
eyebrows,
permanently
that's
arched.
all, and lip gloss.
Yeah.
We wasn't wearing no lip color and all this. This didn't come until the 2000s. We wasn't wearing all that long hair. So if you
No.
met your spouse back then, you one of the blessed ones because he seen you naked and not ashamed. He seen your face naked.
I gotta write that down. Naked and
Right,
not
right.
ashamed.
He seen your naked face
Yes.
without makeup.
Right.
I love this. I cannot wait to hear like your stories in the future of you coaching, because I think that you are, off, just have this authenticity about you, and
Yes.
people will connect with that. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
said, to be transparent and to be, we have a show that comes on, the Lovebirds, and they're a couple. They've been together for a long time, and they brought on their godparents the other night, and just to watch them with each other, you know what I mean? That connection that was made, and so I see that in you, and I see you glowing, and so I think this is an awesome move for you, and I can't wait to check out your 30-day.
I
Book.
agree.
Yeah,
What were some of the things you think about that you were not confident with that now you're confident with, and how did you like make that transition?
yeah,
Honestly, I don't know.
yeah,
I'm being honest, just learning stuff new every single day. Even
Right.
with this podcast, I'm learning something new every time. Every
yeah,
time I go live, I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
And I was on Sheena's live
right,
a little while ago, and it was a question that was asked that I couldn't answer at that particular moment
yeah.
because I wasn't prepared. But today I'm prepared. So
Yes.
I learned something new. I'm like,
I know, right? And we do
uh,
too. It's the same
Yeah.
thing for us. We've been doing
Hello.
it for over a year, but we learn something new every single time.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so much fun,
Yeah.
because, if you look at the videos we did from way back, it looks like the 1980s. I don't know what was going on.
and Kendra, if you can recall, I said, "Oh my God, I'm not used to being on something live for a whole hour.
Yeah.
I'm just used to like a half hour, and then
Yeah.
next thing, here it is. We going on 45 minutes, and
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still like, I can go some more."
Oh
See, I told
yeah. When we
you.
come
I
on
told you. I
here.
said when you get
No, me and
on.
Kendra was talking earlier. I'm like, "Oh my God, can I last an hour?"
You
Yes,
can,
because it's talking about something that you're passionate about, and
right.
Izzy and I, our job is to get that passion out so everyone else can see it and understand, what your products are, what your services are, and then how that connects to the person, and why
Yeah.
that person might be like the person that you've been looking for this whole time. And
Right.
Hmm.
you have that connection. So
And to
yeah, I knew
teach
you
our
can do it.
community. We want our community to learn. There's so
Yeah.
many different things out there that we don't know about, and some things we learn ourselves. We're like, oh
That's
wow,
all
really?
the
I
time.
didn't know
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
learned from watching Kendra when
yeah.
she comes on and has these different, like, I had no idea that you could make coffee from the ginger root. I'm like, I mean, not from the ginger root, from that
Dandelion.
dandelion. I'm out there. I'm gonna pick some. Well, I gotta make sure
Girl, I
the dogs ain't
walked
peeing on them.
out in my yard the other day, and my yard is like manicured, because it's a new house. Literally, one dandelion
Oh
is
no.
in the middle of my yard. And I was like, all right, God, you got jokes. Because I did that video.
Oh, are you talking about dandelion tea?
Yeah,
She makes
no,
it like coffee.
dandelion coffee out of the dandelion root.
Yeah. So
Really?
we
Yeah,
learn
it's good.
something new from
Yeah,
everybody, and so that's what makes it so much
yeah,
fun to
it's
just do
fun.
that. We have four comments that are out there. Want to see what the Feel Good Talk family is talking about. Karen Dixon Brown says, I am well. I love being a life coach also, but will say can be heavy at times. I
Oh, well,
agree.
I can imagine. Karen, tell us a little bit what is heavy about it.
Yeah. And Charles Brakely says, I wear a tuxedo to the, oh my gosh.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course.
Charles is always decked out. He
I
says, I
know,
love the
right?
natural look. To keep much makeup is a turn off. It's hard. It's hard for me. Well, I can tell you this, and this is a funny story. I'm short. I'm about 4'11". So every time I put makeup on, my doctor, really sweet guy, I'm a hugger. So I always, I'm like, thank you for seeing me, blah, blah, blah. I hugged him. And all my brown makeup went on his white shirt.
Oh Lord.
So I guess if I was a little bit taller, but yeah. Charles Blakely says the lashes are becoming worse. They're
They
wearing them
are.
so big.
They
Yeah,
are. They just go over the top with these lashes looking
yeah.
like Snugglepuffs from Sesame Street.
I forgot all about snow.
Oh my gosh, my eyes are getting tear.
That is so
Listen,
true. And again, who are they wearing? Okay, sure. Like, yeah, I'm wearing them for myself, so I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah,
right, but
I
it
agree.
changes. It's and I try to think about like when I was younger, back in the day. You know what I mean,
Yeah,
and the things that phases that we went through. But
that
first
is
it was the
true.
eyebrows, and then after that it was the lashes. But I was good with the lashes until I saw that one lady that was on a boat, and she was on a boat, and her lashes kept flickering back and forth because the wind, and she couldn't see. I was like, this is too much.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so back to Karen, and hopefully she'll answer back. I'm not a life coach, but I teach meditation, and I think what's really heavy, and then Diana, maybe you can chime in on this, is just being in this phase of the pandemic, and so much is going on. The heaviness of losing loved ones, the heaviness of not
Mhm.
having employment, the heaviness, so all those things are all coming at everybody all at once, and it's
Yeah,
pretty deep. What are your thoughts on that, Diana?
It is pretty depressing, especially recovering from COVID in a
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
When your whole entire family have COVID. So
Oh,
you got to deal with the depression that you're dealing with and
oh
yeah.
wow.
healing, and your husband dealing with, because we're both survivors. She don't
Yeah.
talk about it, but he's a survivor too.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with his depression, and men's depression looks different than women's depression. People don't
Right.
understand that. A man's feelings, they hold their feelings in. They don't really talk about their feelings. It's up to us to feel their feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. I've heard and read so many different
And
stories
then
about
and
COVID.
then
Yeah.
women dealing with COVID. I was dealing with so much and writing this book, and like, can I write this book and still be authentic to myself with my feelings, what I'm going through, and in my physical form
Right.
recovering. So I'm dealing with physical, mental, and emotional. And some of the devotionals, like I said, I'm trusting in the Lord. So
Yeah.
I had to come up with a scripture, I had to come up with a devotional, and then I had to come up with a reflection at the end of it while
Yeah.
I'm healing. And I'm
Wow.
like, my mind is not even healed. I'm
Right.
going through depression. But
Right.
I think as time went, I ended up start having fun doing it. It was
Yeah.
fun doing it, but it was sometimes some of them just I don't know how I came up with it, but God,
Yeah.
he
There's
directed me the whole time.
yeah. There's so much in pain and suffering sometimes that we go through. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
and when you writing, as I was writing it, I still realized I was healing. That was my healing. That
Yeah.
Mhm.
writing the everyday woman was my healing at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
yeah.
Right.
And now
Right.
it's
So
gonna
that's my
bless so many people.
testimony. I have a testimony out the test.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
So I
Right.
did the test, and that's my testimony.
Yeah. I love that.
yeah. I think we should get ready soon to go to commercial. But
Oh yes.
one of the things that I love, Diana, about what Izzy was saying at your like being authentic and stuff like that is just the courage to share, with
Right.
the world because a lot of us do go through a lot of things, but then we keep it inside. And one of the things that I've learned in life is that what we go through is not for us. Like a lot of
Yeah.
times we play a victim, why me? And I'm going through this again and blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's, you need to go through this so that way you can better connect with other people or
We
Right.
inspire
can't
other
be
people and help
we
other
can't
people.
be woe is me all the time.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. So let's hit a commercial break and then come back on the other side.
Now the other side. And that, my friends, is one of my favorite A Game commercials. The A Game is a male supplement. And if you are interested in getting samples, you got to reach out to Mr. Charles Brakely. They are flying off the shelves. This is a true story. I won't tell you how I know, but I know they're flying off the shelves.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, so
That
be
is
sure
awesome.
to connect with him and get your samples. Diana, we will be sure to put your links and information in this actual post for you to share and for everyone to connect with you and to purchase your 30-day book, your women's book. I think it's
Yes.
awesome to have a devotional. I don't think I've had one in a long time. I've had like quotes in a book, but I've not followed a devotional. And I think
Yeah.
we need that. We're coming out of a pandemic. I think it's going to happen soon. And we need to, brush ourselves off if we're a little bit down and try to shake things off or deal with these emotions and
Yeah.
and keep it moving so we can be there for our friends, for our family, and for our children. Yeah.
Yes. So Diana, is there any last words that you have for our audience tonight?
Um, I'm going to give you a little excerpt from.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Yes.
I'm going to give you an excerpt, and it's coming from day 18.
Nice.
The scripture is 2 Timothy 1-7.
Mhm.
For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind.
Yes.
Fear and doubt can cause our minds to be in a chaotic state. It causes anxiety and affects our mental state of mind. Worrying can even cause us to be sick in our bodies. We should believe that God will see us through. There is nothing that we can't go through alone, and we must remember that every season changes. When fear and doubt creep in, we should draw closer to God. He will give us peace even in difficult situations. We need to combat fear with love and peace. Reflection. Give thanks unto the Lord. He help us with faith. Trust in God help us with fear.
Love it. I love
Nice.
that. I
Very
love that.
nice.
And it's perfect because we are dealing with a lot of fear on so
Yes.
many different levels right now. So many different
I
levels right
thought
now.
that was I thought that was conducive
Yeah.
for today.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. And
Yes.
from the heart. We
Thank you for
appreciate
sharing.
you. We appreciate you coming on.
Yes.
I love it. So we will definitely be in touch and I'm gonna put offer information, Coach Diana Hill's information. Oh, we have comments. We can't go anywhere yet. Wait a minute.
Oh.
They are loving you, Diana. Let's see what we have from our community. What is that? Snuffleupagus. I know, right?
Snuffleupagus.
Now every time I see it, I'm gonna think of
I
that.
know.
And
I
it's not
forgot
gonna be
all
good.
about Snuffleupagus.
Is that going to be good? Charles Blakely says, Diana, I love your transparency. Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
it. Charles Blakely says, I really enjoyed the conversation. This was an awesome conversation. And thank you, Diana. You are amazing.
Yes. And
And he
awesome.
says, awesome. It is super awesome. I can't wait to see how your journey is going to go. I'm sure that there's
Yes.
going to be so many different facets of you going out into the world. And we are, once you're a guest on Feel Good Talk, you're always a guest. So let us know if you want to come back on and we can chat
Oh
again.
no, absolutely. You can have me anytime you want to.
I love it. I love
We
it.
love
So
you.
we
Yep.
end with a heart. Kendra, you go first because there we go. And Diana, there you go. Diana's is good too. I don't know.
Yours is good tonight,
It's
Izzy.
not bad, right?
Yeah. Yep. We love you guys. We will
Love
see you next
you.
week. Thank you for
I
tuning in.
love
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you for
Diana.
having me. Thank
You're
Thank,
you so
welcome.
much.
thank
You're
you. We're
welcome.
grateful for you. Thank you. Bye.